All right, good evening, everyone. The time is 7:05 p.m. Announced that a quorum is present and call to order this city council regular meeting. Let's all begin with invocation and then the pledge of allegiance. Reverend Anderson.
Let us bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we come before you right now with thanking you for your grace, your kindness, and your mercies. Father, as we gather for this city council meeting, we humbly ask for your guidance and wisdom in our deliberations. Grant us discernment to understand the needs of our community, courage to make just decisions, and the ability to work together in unity for the betterment of all. May our words be spoken with respect and our actions reflect your love for all people. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, you may be seated. All right, first on our agenda, we do have a event and announcement. MLK Day event Monday, January 20th, 2025 at Jenny Lane Park, 104 East Rector Street, Maynard, Texas. Yes, ma'am.
Hi everyone, Jalondra Valderrama with the City of Maynard. We are having our MLK Day ceremony on January 20th, scheduled to be at Jenny Lane Park, but we will start from City Hall with a freedom walk from here to Jenny Lane Park, where the Jenny Lane Park will take place our ceremony. We understand that there is inclement weather coming our way, so we're having a contingency plan that if the weather doesn't permit, we're going to move the event indoors. We're still securing a facility to do it indoor. More information will come and will be available probably by Friday. Any questions?
Yeah. And if the roads are bad, emergency management says so, then we'll just have to postpone or cancel.
Yeah. Thank you.
Do we have any public comments? All right, moving right along. Consent agenda. All the items, following items on consent agenda considered to be self-explanatory by council and will be enacted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion on items unless requested by the mayor or city council member, in which the item will remove from the consent agenda and considered separately. We're actually going to remove consent agenda item 5 from not only just from the consent agenda, but from today altogether. We're going to pull that one. So we'll start with number 1, consideration, discussion, possible action to approve city council minutes. Number 2, consideration, discussion, possible action on accepting the 2025 first quarter city council committee reports. Number 3, consideration, discussion, possible action on accepting the December 2024 city council monthly reports. And number 4, consideration, discussion, possible action on accepting December 2024 departmental reports. And number 6, consideration, discussion, possible action on the purchase agreement we apply to Holding LLC for a public utility easement for parcel number 4. Number 7, consideration, discussion, possible action on the resolution making available to members of City Council the services offered by AFLAC and authorizing payroll deductions for participating council members. Number 8, consideration, discussion, possible action on the social media use regulations for the City of Maynard. Any questions or items requested to be pulled, council members? If not, I'll take a motion.
Mayor, Council, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the consent agenda as read.
I have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Wallace. Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Mayor Pro Tem Hill. Any questions to the motion? Any questions to the motion? Being none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. All right, moving right along to item number 9. Consideration, discussion, possible action on City of Maynard participating in the Central Texas Learning Festival.
Hi, Mayor, Council again. I'm presenting a project that Mayor Harvey brought to our coalition committee. It's with the Central Texas Learning Festival. This festival basically brings other organizations, nonprofits, and cities together to celebrate learning. And basically, it gives our opportunity to come together as a big unit and provide free learning programs for an entire week from March, the week of March. It takes place from March 5th to March 8th, 9, and it's taking place everywhere in Central Texas. Right now, we are partnered up with other cities such as Pflugerville, Georgetown, um, Austin Central College, and other organizations that all of them are actually hosting different programs, classes, or anything that implies providing some type of learning or knowledge to the community completely for free. Um, right now, there is over 50 organizations or 50 partners, and they provide over 260 learning experiences throughout Central Texas, and that all take place just during that week. Um, what we're proposing is that Manor actually will also be part of that learning festival by us holding our own programs, classes, or any type of learning to our citizens. Um, I know that the mayor actually brought up that we should do one in one day, and we can actually have just a big community all come together, partner up with different organizations in Maynard that they can actually provide these classes, such as it could be from learning how to paint to finance, how to write your resume. It could be even as learning how you braid your hair. As long we provide something for free for the community where they just take a day and learn. Um, that's basically what it is. We decided to base our basically Manor festival, a learning festival, with 8 different strong principles, which go safety, finance, health and wellness, education, recreation, workforce development, and community engagement. So everything, all the classes or programs that we will provide that day, it will be around those 8 principles. And that's basically what I have. I know the mayor may have something to add.
Yeah, so just continue to go into our conversations council about building community. And so the idea came from Don Tracy. He's a director or executive director over at ACC in the workforce area. And he spent some time in Ireland, and there was a city that he visited over there, and they had this learning festival. And basically, it started off as a day to a week to months and throughout the year, and it created a culture of learning. And so, and it created a neighborly type of city. And so what happened was, because I know I have these 4 or 5 skills and I enjoy doing it and I don't mind teaching it, I have this space that is created and managed by stakeholders in the city, and I can go and actually offer this to other community members. And as Yolanda said, it can be something as simple as the appropriate way to, fix a flat, remove a tire. It could be knitting, it could be cooking, it could be resume, it could be pretty much any topic. And the idea is that we learn about ourselves as a community and we bring together all of our expertise and we pour those things back into each other. And so, again, another thing in the lens of building community, building relationships, becoming more neighborly, but also building prevention, right? If a spouse if a couple is really good at their marital relationship, then maybe that couple has the class for that. And then maybe some of the couples that are struggling with domestic violence, they have a space to go when they first get married, and maybe that becomes a prevention. The free classes, as it expands, it becomes a space for the youth, and maybe they don't get caught up into so much violence like that. So again, it's just a long-term plan towards building a culture of people taking care of each other, since that is our strength in crisis. So just trying to figure out how to take that strength in crisis and make it our everyday interaction with each other. Questions?
We could also hold any type of classes and programs, even educating our public about how the city do process, such as like our water, our public work, how do our water and utility waste and water works, how a stormwater. Even we can even host classes about our downtown renovation project to educate people. So it's not just us going planning out with other partnering with other organizations, but also something we can actually give out as a city, as we staff have expertise in different areas.
Other questions?
So we could partner with school chamber to like
Whomever. Yeah.
to figure out like the facilities and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
And we will be going out to the community, to different community organization group, like for example maybe Keep Maynard Beautiful wants to host a class about recycling, or maybe Maynard Art Council want to hold a quick class about how to draw, things like that. So if you also know, or you yourself have skills that want to host a class, even if it's just 30 minutes, that is something we can actually add and go out there and even partner up with businesses. So like our Urgent Cares, they may have classes on how to do your blood pressure property, things like those. Those are also areas that we're going to be reaching out and trying to pull that in so we can make a successful event.
Yeah. When we talked about doing it's a week that they're doing it. We talked about doing it on the Saturday, mostly because their spring break is not ours, so facility wise. And then we talked about being a part of it in this manner until we grow our own thing, and then we, push our own thing. But yeah. Other questions, comments?
I think I have two questions, maybe from lack of understanding. How does it not have a fiscal impact at all for us? And then how is it kept sustainable so that we continue in partnership?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it looks like because it's one central location, then other cities who have already been involved, they're there, but to make sure that we are continuing, like,
Mhm.
is there a plan for continuity, I guess?
So it's the idea is that when you're working with Central Texas Learning, which is a group of folks that ACC convened, and so the idea is that you're working with them. We start there with them until we're able to stand alone. But your partners, as Councilmember Moreno was talking about, chamber, school district, or whomever else that has space, they are, become partners in it. And so it's something that part of our role is to convince them to be involved, whether it be for facility purposes or for class opportunities. All of those entities have communication and training initiatives. And so it's, as a chamber, they definitely want to make sure people know about the chamber and their benefits. That's now a class where they can bring in, offer to business to come learn about the chamber. All school districts have a ton, charters, they all have a ton of stuff that they would love to be able to have a day to train parents on. So it's kind of like the marketing that Central Texas Learning Festival does helps anyone that has any information that wants to go out. Then if you're just a resident and you're like, I would love to be able to do this, or I'd love to be able to do that, or if you have a nonprofit and you would love to be able to share your nonprofit, activities, this is another space where it can happen. So it's not necessarily about how we're going to sustain it. It's about how we're going to get all the partners involved and they believe in where we're trying to go, and then we build it from there. And so we started the conversation in the community collaborative, Mayor Community Collaborative. And so I would say it stays birthed in there, and then as you know, and it becomes the responsibility of the mayor to make sure that those partners keep going. But over time, like for the next 4 years, I'll make sure it's happening. But over time, the idea is we have 4 years to build it into the culture of the city.
In addition, this is actually the second annual one. They did it last year and it was very successful. They have over, I don't remember the number, but I remember it was over 1,000 people that actually participated, because they, in each area, everywhere they went, they were signing lists and they created something as a passport. So that same day is not just coming to maybe our Manor here. They may jump to, I don't know, Georgetown or Pflugerville, and those people will also jump to like come a Manor and actually see what we're offering here. So it's also a great way of pulling people that are not from Manor to learn what we have here and what can we offer as a community. They have their own website. I think you guys have this in your package. That is where all the classes and everything are. So they do their marketing. We as well, we do our own marketing for the ones that will be hosting here, but they are doing marketing overall to all of like to all of them. And what we do is like will register the city of Manor as hosting it that day, but then we would manage all the partners and all the workshops and classes that we will be hosting that in one location.
Yeah, and if we wanted to, like I said, we don't. Well, there's about I think 200 or 300 nonprofits in this area. We don't have to manage anything. We can empower those nonprofits to take on the lead, because anyone can go to the meetings, anyone can take on working there, and we can just be the support for another entity that takes the lead. So sustainability, I'm not so much concerned about, and cost-wise, it doesn't cost us anything with our relationships with, at least in our current partnership for facility sharing. So is this putting forth, creating the opportunity so people can go. It doesn't cost anything for anyone except for whatever materials they're going to be using.
Some of the organizations are not even hosting class programs. What they're doing is providing locations where other people can actually be like put their classes there. So some of these partners are not hosting their own classes. Some of these partners are just providing the space. So one way to see us is City of Manor may be that bridge that we will be able to provide a location and a date and a promotion platform where we can get all these community groups and organizations just to come, and we have a day, we have a location, and we actually have some type of platform where that information can go out to the public. So we're kind of like that bridge between learning, the community, and these organizations.
Other questions? Ask away.
Will our parks be available in case we have people with sports organizations that want to host some kind of training?
We could do that. We can follow the directions as council feel fit. So if council decide that week we should open our parks for organization to host any program or any classes, sport related, anything that needs to be outdoor, staff will follow that direction.
Yeah, they would have to they would make the request, and then we would have to approve it. So that's really on us.
Will their fees be waived for that event?
That's on us.
Okay.
Good questions. I want to make sure I'm giving time for the talkers and the internal processors.
Will our two buildings on East, was it Development 1, be available for use during that time?
It's up to us to what the request is.
And what I will be doing if this is approved by council and following council's direction, we'll be sending an email to everybody in council, also the community organization that we have contacts, and we're going to start putting out invitations and asking people to like submit if you want to participate and want to host a class, please let us know and we will get that information out there. We will also ask to council if you guys have partners, please send it out, send them to us, and if those requests become available, we can bring them up for council to decide. Hopefully within the next 2 to 3 weeks we can have a good amount of partners. We can host at least 8 or 10 classes in one location.
Other questions? So tonight, we're asking for the blessing to participate in the process, and anyone that's willing or wanting to learn more and participate, and from here on out, and I don't know if you asked this or not, but it could be definitely something that the Youth Advisory Council could participate in and hosting a workshop for other youth or whatever. But if it's something that you want to learn more about and be a part of the process, then definitely let us know. But that's what the request is on it tonight. Was we found this opportunity. We've been exploring it for about 6 months with other cities, and wanted to see if we could find one day where we could have about 6 to 10 one day, 6 to 10 workshops as a kind of inaugural opportunity to participate, and then just kind of keep building from there. So
Also, our last meeting with this organization will be February 5th. It will be in person. I know they're still looking for. They're still finalizing on the location. If I'm not mistaken, it will probably be on Georgetown Public Library, like it was last time that I was there. So I will be sending all that information. It's usually at lunchtime, but it's open for everybody. So I encourage, when I send the information, I encourage you to go. When I also send it to the organizations and groups, I also will encourage them to come as well so they can see for firsthand. There's a lot of people. We do a lot of the calls on Zoom, and there is like more than 20, 25 people in that call. So there is a lot of good support behind it.
all right, we'll take questions or motion.
Mayor Council, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the City of Maynard participation in the Central Texas Learning Festival.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Wallace. Is there a second?
I second.
Which one?
Wow.
Y'all pointing at each other. All right, we'll go with Councilwoman Mascore. Second by Councilwoman Mascore. Any questions to the motion? Any additional questions? All right, being none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Again, if you want to know more, just let us know. We'll make sure that you get connected with all the information.
You can wait an email by Friday, okay? Thank you.
All right. Moving on to number 10, consideration, discussion, possible action on the ordinance accepting 146.92 acres more of land, more or less, being located in Travis County, Texas, into the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the City of Maynard, Texas, at the request of the property owner, and providing for open meetings and other related matters. Yes, sir.
Mayor, Council, my name is Michael Burrell, Interim Development Services Director for the City of Maynard. This agenda item is accepting the Maynard Downs property into our extraterritorial jurisdiction. This will allow for it to sequentially annex into our corporate city limits.
Questions or comments?
I'm glad that it's back.
We'll take questions, comments, or a motion.
Mayor Council, I'd like to make a motion that we approve ordinance number 773, except 774, accepting 146.920 acres of land, more or less being located in Travis County, Texas, into the extraterritorial jurisdiction of the city of Manor, Texas, at the request of the property owner and providing for open meetings and other related matters.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Moreno. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Weir. Any questions to the motion? Questions to the motion? Being none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations. Exciting day. All right. Move right along to agenda item number 11, consideration discussion. 11, consideration discussion possible action on a resolution accepting the petition for voluntary annexation of 146.920 acres, more or less, being located in Travis County, Texas, and adjacent to and contiguous to the city limits, provided for an open meeting and other related matters. Yes, sir.
This is in sequence to the previous agenda item. This is their request to be officially, or start the process to officially annex into the city of Manor city limits.
Yes, sir. Is there a motion on the floor?
Mayor Council, I'd like to make a motion that we approve resolution number 2025-02, accepting the petition for voluntary annexation of 146.920 acres, more or less, being located in Travis County, Texas, and adjacent and contiguous to the city limits, providing for open meeting and other related matters.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Moreno. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Weir. Any questions to the motion? Being none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Congratulations again. Number 12, consideration, discussion, possible action approving an engagement letter agreement for an appraiser for the Mustang Valley Public Improvement District PID. Yes, sir.
I believe Veronica can speak to this item better than I can in more detail.
Come on up. Yes, ma'am.
Mayor, council members, Veronica Rivera, Assistant City Attorney. This is an engagement letter with Flato to do the appraisal for the Mustang Valley PID. You had previously approved an appraiser engagement letter with Aegis. Thank you. With Aegis back in excuse me, back in May, I believe, back in May of last year. However, the project was not ready after all to move forward, and because the decision was being made on whether it was going to be the entirety of the PID or if it was going to be a portion of it. And so the decision was made that it was going to be a portion of it. So instead of the engagement letter previously was for $18,000, and it was to cover the entire tract of 136 acres and I think 372 single-family homes. Instead of that, it is now for only 136 single-family homes. So the price, of course, is less, and so staff and the developer preferred to go with this new engagement letter with Flato for $7,250.
All right. Questions, council members? If not, I'll take a motion.
Mayor Council, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the selection of Plato Realty Advisors LLC as the appraiser for the Mustang Valley PID and authorize the city manager to enter and execute the engagement letter for appraisal services with Plato Realty Advisors LLC.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilwoman Weir. Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Councilman Moreno. Any questions to the motion? Being none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Consideration, discussion, and possible action on appointment of two Public Tree Care Advisory Board P and Z Commission members to serve a 2-year term. Yes, sir.
Mayor, Council, Michael Burrell, Interim Development Services Director for the City of Manor. After the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting on January 8th, they made the recommendation to reappoint Felix Paez and Julie Leonard to the commission to serve.
All right. Take questions or motion.
Mayor, Council, I'd like to make a motion that we appoint Julie Leonard and Felix Pies of the Planning and Zoning Commission members to the Public Tree Care Advisory Board for a term of 2 years.
Motion on the floor by Councilman Moreno. Is there a second?
I second.
Second by Councilwoman Wallace. Any questions to the motion? Being none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. City Council will now convene to executive session pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 551 Texas Government Code in accordance with authority contained in Section 551.074 Texas Government Code to deliberate the evaluation of personnel in the Administrative Department regarding communications and marketing. Section 551.071 and Section 551.072 Texas Government Code and Section 1.05 Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct to consult with legal counsel regarding the purchase of the Zalarum property at a .568 acre tract of land, Section 551.072 deliberations regarding real property, and Section 551.087 deliberations regarding economic development negotiations. Right. City Council will now reconvene to open session pursuant to the provisions of Texas Government Code, Chapter 551, and take action, if any, on items discussed during closed executive session. All right. Let's see here. All right. Consideration, discussion, possible action on a resolution authorizing the purchase and closing of a tract of real property consisting of 0.56 acres more or less located in Travis County, Texas, for $146,394 plus closing costs, title insurance costs, providing for approval of the purchase and sale agreement and amendment to the agreement, providing for related matters. Is there a motion on the floor?
Mayor, Council, I'd like to make a motion that we approve resolution number 2025-03, authorizing the purchase and closing of tract of real property consisting of 0.56 acres, more or less located in Travis County, Texas, for $146,394 plus closing costs, title, insurance costs, providing for approval of the purchase and sales agreement and an amendment to the agreement, and providing for related matters, and authorize the city manager to execute the purchase agreement and all necessary documents to close on the purchase of the property.
We have a motion on the floor by Councilman Moreno. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Weir. Any questions to the motion? Questions to the motion? Being none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Time is 8:43 and this meeting is adjourned.